to kick the raw, represent everyone, so you would not verse. We're gonna break this down just real quick, you know what I'm saying? This is the balsamic moon in Leo with the sun in Virgo. So with all this being said, the balsamic moon is right before we have the new moon. So essentially this is the energy that you want to continue to clear things up before we get into the new moon. And the new moon is new experiences. So essentially you want to clear out that previous house before we actually have the new moon occur, right? So, for example, if you're a Virgo rising, you want to clear out any dream that's non-beneficial and things of that nature to actually then accumulate new things in your first house and have new personal experiences, right? Perfect example of that. But before we get into all the houses, we're going to go ahead and break down all of the alignments, right? Generally, I've been doing this as a 2-video split, but I'm going to just go ahead and break everything down straightforward, you know what I'm saying? So we have the moon conjuncting Mercury, right? So the moon conjuncting Mercury is essentially thinking in the same space as our emotions, so having emotional thoughts. And keep in mind, Mercury is direct at this point in time, so Mercury's going to be moving back into Virgo. So essentially, we're going to be having our thoughts in line with our emotions. So essentially, we're going to be very expressive based on our thoughts, right? Then moon sextiling Mars in Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini, also Venus in pardon me, yeah, Venus is in Libra, right? So it's going to sextile Venus in Libra, and also we have Lilith in Libra, right? So moon sextiling the Mars is also being in this space of being expressive based on our passions. So our passionate communications are having us be in a space of feeling comfortable and expressing those emotions, right? So our communication style may be very passionate based on the way we feel. And then also we have Jupiter being in Gemini, right? Is also sextile in the moon. So essentially being expansive based on our expressive emotions. And these expressive emotions are bringing a larger scale or a bigger, like a larger outlook based on our ways of thinking and communicating. So essentially we're thinking and communicating in a broad space, and we're also being in this expressive space based on our emotions. And this is seeing the opportunity based on the sextile, right? So essentially, we're going to see the opportunity to be more expressive based on our expansion as well. And then we also have, like I said, Venus in Libra, right? So moon sextile and Venus in Libra is going to be seeing the opportunity to express our emotions based on our values and our value systems, right? So Venus in Libra is at home. So essentially, Venus in Libra is being in a space where you're able to balance your values. So we're able to balance our values based on our expression, you know what I'm saying, and seeing those opportunities to express oneself based on the moon in Leo, right? So that's that sextile right there, right? And then Lilith being in Libra is seeing the opportunity to also have these darkest emotions or darkest moments or embarrassing moments in our relationships based on this expression as well. So essentially, based on you expressing yourself, you're able to see the opportunity, oh, okay, this is what's creating this embarrassment, Lilith, you know what I'm saying? So moving forward, we have the moon squaring Uranus, right? So the moon squaring Uranus is essentially being in this space where you have to learn to be an individual based on your expression. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be so with the collective. You want to actually have your own individual and lightning-like expression and things of that nature. Simple as that. Then we have the moon trine the North Node and also Chiron, right? So the moon trine the North Node and Chiron is essentially being in this space to have the gift to express yourself based on your purpose and your individuality. And that's the North Node, you know what I'm saying, the purpose. Then your individuality is based on Chiron, you know what I'm saying? So being an individual, you're going to have these wounds, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to be more wise based on these wounds that you've experienced based on being that individual. So essentially, we're going to express ourselves. We're going to have this either individuality about it and have the gift to that. You know what I'm saying? Or this could be like a negative kind of gift to a point where it's like you expressing yourself so much to the point where it's actually not beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Got my little AC on. I got to turn that joint off. Then moving forward, we have the moon in conjuncting Saturn and Neptune, right? So Saturn and Neptune is all in the Pisces energy, right? So the moon in conjuncting Saturn and Pisces is misunderstanding our restriction, you know what I'm saying, based on Saturn and the restriction of our dreams. So we may be in a space where we want to feel comfortable expressing ourselves, but if we express ourselves too much, we're going to be in this space where it's non-beneficial for actually building, right? So keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? You want to kind of keep your mind on minding your money, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, and be able to restrict yourself for a more beneficial space. And also the moon in conjuncting Neptune, right, is our dreams, illusions, and nightmares. I'm saying so. You may have this certain dream, I'm saying, but you are ready to express it and things of that nature, but it hasn't come to a fruition yet. I'm saying so you want to kind of stay down for the come up. I'm saying being in this moon in Leo. We also have the moon opposing Pluto, right? So the moon opposition to Pluto is having this adding on or opposing space to our change and deep transformation, you know what I'm saying, based on our association. So essentially, you're able to actually add on to things based on you expressing yourself in a space where, okay, I actually do want to change, or on this opposition space to the point where I'm saying, I kind of just want to express my wham energy, so to speak. I'm saying, so we're going to go ahead and break down all the rising signs real quick, starting with Leo rising, and we'll finish up with Virgo rising, right? So Leo in the first house is having this individual expression and this individuality. You know what I'm saying, you're going to be able to feel comfortable expressing oneself. Second house, you know what I'm saying, Cancer rising, first house and ascendant. It's going to have this valued expression. So essentially, keep in mind, like I say, this is the balsamic moon phase. You know what I'm saying? So Leo has to clear out some things in their personal life and, you know what I'm saying, be able to actually clear these things out to have a more beneficial value system based on their expression. Then moving forward, we have, like I said, Cancer in the second, having Leo in the second house is essentially having to clear things out based on their values and this expression that they value. You know what I'm saying, so if they want to have a more beneficial new moon, you know what I'm saying, they want to see what do I actually need to clear out based on my value system to actually be more in a beneficial space. Keep in mind the second house is values of a person, place, thing, or idea. So it might be one of those aspects you might have to clear out. Then moving forward, Gemini rising is having the Leo in the third house. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, like I say, balsamic moon phase. So they're having this opportunity to express oneself in the environment. So there's certain expression that you're utilizing, you may actually have to clear out, you know what I'm saying, and stop expressing yourself in a certain aspect around individuals that you're in your immediate space with to actually be in a more beneficial space based on how you interact with your new experiences in your home, you know what I'm saying? So whatever the moon experiences in your fourth house being that Gemini rising. So you're able to see the opportunity now to actually be more beneficial based on whenever the new moon occurs. Then moving forward, we have the Taurus rising, which is having the fourth house being in Leo, and the fourth house is square to the first house. So essentially, the Taurus is having to learn to express themselves more at home and be more expressive. And based on them being more expressive at home, I'm saying they're going to have new experiences based on their expression, based on the Virgo in the fifth house. You know what I'm saying? Astrology work like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you have to work towards one thing, towards the next thing to actually be more in a beneficial space or better seeds you planted. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward, the Aries rising first house and ascendant is having Leo in the fifth house, right? So essentially, they're having this gift to be more expressive about their focus, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, and it's expressing a focus, so to speak. So make sure you have the right focus, you know what I'm saying, to put yourself on the proper routine and pattern whenever that new moon occurs, you know what I'm saying? So you might have to clear certain things out to put yourself in a more beneficial space. Moving forward, the Pisces rising, first house and ascendant, is having the Leo in the sixth house, right? And so Leo in the sixth house is expressions of your routine and pattern, you know what I'm saying, or expressing yourself at work. And you may misunderstand this certain aspect because the Pisces kind of wants to be more adaptive, but at the end of the day, they have to have their own routine and pattern and focus on their own routine and pattern to be in a more beneficial space. Or essentially, at this point in time, you want to see what certain aspects of my routine and pattern or my work are actually non-beneficial to a point where if I try to relate these things with another person's schedule or things like that, whenever the new moon occurs in the seventh house for the Pisces, would it be beneficial or non-beneficial? Just keep that in mind. And then moving forward, the Aquarius rising first house and ascendant is having the Leo in the seventh house, right? So Leo in the seventh house for Aquarius is relating an expression. This is the opposition space, so either able to add on or oppose. So Aquarius is also that fixed energy like to the Leo. So they're in a space that they want to be consistent or stubborn upon their own way of relating. So essentially, expressing yourself in this relationship can either be beneficial or non-beneficial. So essentially, you may have to go through a certain transformation, you know what I'm saying, based on the way that you're expressing yourself in this relationship whenever we have this new moon occur in the eighth house for Aquarius and Virgo, right? So you want to see what certain aspects of the relationship are beneficial or non-beneficial. I'm saying, make sure I do this, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, moving forward, The Capricorn rising, first house and ascendant, is having the Leo in the 8th house. So essentially, it's just secret expressions at this point in time. You may want to clear out ways of that you've been expressing yourself in the past. I'm saying, or ways that you're expressing yourself now. I'm saying, and it's like this secret aspect. It's only something that you know about. So essentially, Capricorn, you want to be able to clear things out based on behind the scenes expressions and things like that, like how you really feel about things, so to speak. The topic is the title, which is the balsamic moon and Leo. You know what I'm saying? And right now we're breaking down all the houses, you know what I'm saying, your areas of life where Leo's occurring. Jaden Velez. And moving forward, the Sagittarius rising is having the ninth house being in Leo, right? So the ninth house being in Leo is essentially expressing a morality or expressing experience and things like that. So the Sagittarius is having the gift, you know what I'm saying, to see, okay, what should I actually clear out based on the way I'm experiencing my experience or expressing myself in my experience and things of that nature. And this will then in turn become your status, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to have new experiences in that status based on what you're saying you've either cleared out or what you're actually working with based on your experience. Scorpio rising is having the 10th house being in Leo, and the 10th house is all about your status, a blueprint, and career, right? And keep in mind it's a square to the Leo energy. So essentially, Scorpio and Leo is a square, so it creates this pressure. It's a learning opportunity. So essentially, Scorpio has to learn what to express to actually have a more beneficial status and things like that. Or what certain aspects of your status do you want to actually clear out to then have a more beneficial association. Moving forward, the Libra rising, first house and ascendant, is having the 11th house being in Leo, right? And the 11th house is all about your association, your public persona, and things of that nature, even technology, right? So like the internet, so to speak. And the Libra rising is able to see the opportunity and what to associate based on their expression. You know what I'm saying? How to utilize their association to actually express themselves in a more beneficial space. So essentially, this what part of this group do you maybe need to clear out, or what certain aspect of your expression within this group do you need to stop like expressing yourself like to actually kind of have teamwork make the dream work whenever the 12th house occurs. Pardon me, whenever the new moon occurs in the 12th house with the Libra, which will be in Virgo. And last but not least, Virgo first house rising and ascendant is having the Leo rising, pardon me, not the Leo rising, but having the Leo energy being in the 12th house. And the 12th house is all about dreams, illusions, and nightmares, right? So essentially, what certain aspect of the dream do you need to clear out to be in a more beneficial space whenever you have these new experiences in your personal life? So essentially, like, what dream are you starting to realize, you know what I'm saying, based on you expressing yourself in this space, do you actually kind of feel more uncomfortable with, you know what I'm saying, and what aspect do you need to clear that out to actually put yourself in a more beneficial space, in a more comfortable space whenever this new moon occurs in your first house, right? And the first house is all about your individuality, personal affairs, and things of that nature. So keep that in mind. If you don't already feel comfortable with this expression or comfortable with this dream, that you want to see what can you actually benefit more from whenever things go into your first house and saying things around you start to occur. So yeah, thank y'all for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? Much love and holla back. Peace and love if you believe in all that. You know what I'm saying? Much like I say, much love. You know what I'm saying? Love all y'all.